This is my first video about my 2025 Rivian R1S. So I'll be talking about the design aspects, the spec I got, what I like about it, things I dislike or want improved, and a little more. So stay tuned as I dig into my early impressions. It's not a detailed video yet, more will come later on. So this is just, initial impressions since delivery. So let's go and get into it. Hope you guys enjoy. This is my 2025 Rivian R1S. It's considered the Gen 2 because there are previous versions that had slight quirks that they've addressed in this configuration of it, in this iteration of it. A lot of it's under the hood or frunk adjustments for manufacturing that makes it cheaper and easier for Rivian, the manufacturer, to produce these cars. But there are some noticeable elements to the user that have changed. One of the first noticeable ones you'll see if you drive by one is the new DRL. Kind of little nice divot there. Adds character, it looks great. The Gen 1s are all flat, so these little design elements you see here, those don't exist. This divot here doesn't exist. It's just one flat bar. Still looks fantastic, but I like this design a little more. Gives a little more character. And ignoring the plane that is landing above me, hopefully you can hear me still. There are also LEDs here under the light bar that you can use for excuse me, you can use those for directional hazards. So say you have a flat tire and you're in the right lane, you can have it direct traffic to go around you. If you're stuck in a middle lane, you can have it do both directions. Yeah, it has a lot of different options, as well as during different special holidays and stuff. Rivian will send updates for custom things you can do with them. For Halloween, they sent out what they called costumes, and you could. What my favorite was, you can make it look like Kit from Knight Rider. So it had the red light going back and forth just like it. For Christmas, it's past Christmas, so I still have it on because it's funny. You can, when you lock the doors, it'll play like jingle bell sounds, and the LEDs will light up red and green. I'm keeping it on as long as they let me, just to be funny. So yeah, that's one of the biggest noticeable aspects of Gen 2s, one of the first ones anyway. These lights are basically the same. There are some under the hood or inside adjustments that they've made. These are really good at night. The high beams basically are on all the time, but say there's a car in front of you, there's no car over here. Just imagine like an Accord right there. It'll dim the exact LEDs it needs to, the exact pixels it needs to basically block out just that one car. So you can have the high beams on, and the beams are going around the car, this side, that side, but not on the car. So you're not blinding the driver. Hugely impressive technology. It also steers when you steer and things like that. Really impressive. I used it a couple times when driving on some back roads, and trust me, you always want to have your high beams on when it's pitch black out there. But I love that it also takes care of the drivers around you so that you're not blinding them and causing any dangerous situations that way. Moving on to the wheels, which are probably my favorite part of the Gen 2s. I have the 22-inch Aero wheels, and they look fantastic. They actually have the ability to take off the cover, so you basically get two wheels in one from a design standpoint. You can take the cover off for a more rugged look, almost like Steely's in a way, or you can cover it on for some great aerodynamics. Now, realistically, the aerodynamics don't make much of a difference, but I love the design, so that's why I have it. I didn't choose these for aerodynamics, that's for sure. I just wanted the looks. They also made some adjustments to the door handles. All of the mechanics in the door handle system are now electronic, so no longer mechanical. Inside the car, you now have a button for opening the door, similar to Tesla's. Before, Gen 1s had a lever right here. We're still here. It's the emergency release now in case you lose power. But that used to be the primary way to open the door. Now, it's a button. Moving on to the back is pretty much the same as Gen 1's. It also has the new LEDs that the front has, so that's nice. You have that same directional hazard light feature if you need to, and things like that. Everything the front can do, the rear can do, basically. So those are the main differences you'll notice pretty quickly on the Gen 2. There are many other smaller changes that you won't really tell from the get-go, but if you get to know the vehicle, you can see them or notice them. One of my favorites is the battery pack I have. So I have a dual motor, and it's configured like a dual motor large pack, but there's a twist to the pack. It's actually a max pack, which is like 141 or 140 kilowatt hours, but this is actually software locked to behave like a large pack. And I think large packs are in the low 100s kilowatt hours. This one is limited to 120, around that. So I have a max pack with a lower range. Now it might sound bad in itself, but it's actually really good in my use case, and for a lot of other people too. Similar to like an LFP pack, which is in the standard battery pack, you can charge it to 100% every day. Don't worry about degradation per se. With other packs, you have to at least a little bit be careful on how you charge it, and how often and how high you charge it. Usually you don't need a whole battery. You usually just need maybe 10% on a daily, unless you plan to do anything else. So like charging to 85% is perfectly fine. For this pack specifically, it's software locked by itself. So if I charge it to 100, what's 100 to the car is really about 80-85% physically on the battery pack. So I can charge this like I have an LFP battery pack. I can charge to 100 every night and have 330 miles estimated every morning. And I love that because you have that peace of mind aspect of it where you don't have to worry about degradation, but also, unlike a traditional large pack buyer, I can charge 200% with zero downsides. And since it's a larger pack, I actually do get slightly better DC fast charging as well. I haven't done too much charging because this range is just so good compared to my old Model 3. So I only DC charged maybe 5 times since I got the car in September. But I'll definitely get some real numbers soon. But yeah, the Large Plus battery pack is what they call it, and it's been fantastic. It's zero complaints. And the beautiful part is, eventually, say I want to tow a camper, which I do one day, and I want more range since I'm carrying a lot of weight. The camper's tall, inefficient, I'm gonna lose some range. Well, down the road, I hope, Rivian will allow us to upgrade via software. Pay X amount of money through the app. Tesla does this all the time. And you can get a battery pack unlocked. And I can turn it into a max pack and get like 410 or something like that as their estimated range, which will be huge for towing, because now I can get similar towing range to what my range is right now without towing, since it's software locked. So great options with the Large Plus. I think it's my favorite battery pack, at least as of now, because of the flexibility you have. So that's the more mechanical side of the Gen 2 for mine specifically. If you go to the charge port here, if you've seen a Gen 1 Rivian, you'll notice the charge port's a bit different. One of my theories with this is this looks like it's basically swappable. And since Rivians can charge on the Tesla network now, the supercharger network. Right now we use NACS adapters. So it plugs into here, and then at the other end you can plug in the Tesla charger. What I wonder is if that's easily swappable. Will there be a time where we could swap that with a NACS adapter or a NACS, actual port? Now, the interesting part about that is it's only a physical change. You don't necessarily gain more functionality or gain more charger access. It's the same either way. All this is you're not using an adapter. It's basically an adapter inside the car already. But with that said, you also have, if you want to use a CCS charger, which it has right now, if you got the retrofit to NACS, you'll need another adapter to charge on CCS. So it'll definitely depend on where you charge more, how often you charge, do you need to not use an adapter, is it really that necessary? There's a lot of different things that kind of go into it. So I'd love to see if they let us upgrade. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I've been a MacBook Pro user for a few years, so I'm used to using adapters. We all know the struggle. But yeah, one of the other Gen 2 adjustments or additions to the car, I don't have, but a lot of people do. The roof glass can be dynamically changed, so it can dim or should I say frost or something like that. Basically, it'll go from a frosted, blurred glass to clear, transparent electronically. I didn't get on mine because I'd like to see this on all the time, but it's a really good feature for those who want it. I used it a couple times in some demo cars. It's pretty cool. Moving on to the interior, I love the interior color. I have Ocean Coast. Ocean Coast is probably the best interior they have. There is Slate Sky for the more high-end ones. Slate Sky is fantastic. It looks great. Basically, Ocean Coast on the top and this nice blue on the bottom. It looks fantastic. And I'm kind of split. Which one looks better? Let me know in the comments what you think. Slate Sky or Ocean Coast? I'm a big Ocean Coast fan. I might be biased, but I think it's the best one. But let me know what you think. Or do you think Black Mountain, their black interior, is better? Speaking of those, they do have small changes between the trims. I have what's called the Adventure trim. It's the regular trim. It's technically their base trim, but this is a high-end, luxury market vehicle. So although it's a, with air quotes, base trim, it's not like you're losing out on stuff. The trims ahead of this are the trims that are higher than this are called the Ascent trims. That's where you get to the quad motors and tri motors, and they have different design elements along the car, like when they have the either blue or yellow emblems, that's who you know it's a quad or tri, sorry. And the interior has different elements as well. Seats have different stitching. There are different plaid design elements around the car. I really want to get some of the plaid floor mats from an Ascent and put it in mine just because. So if anyone has those and they don't want them from their Ascent, I will take them. And the Ascent basically takes the already luxurious Rivian interior and makes it a bit more. Again, it's just design stuff. Functionality wise, nothing really. All the things that come standard in the Ascent trim interior are options in Adventure trim as far as functionality stuff. So premium audio, dynamic glass roof, air compressor, things like that you can order on an Adventure trim. So you don't need an Ascent if you don't say you want to get those features, but you don't need the quad or tri-motor, you can just add them onto your dual. So great options overall. But yeah, this is my adventure trim. Honestly, it's all I really need. As far as the interior features, right? I talk about the interior looks, but the features. While I didn't go with the dynamic roof, I did go with a Rivian premium audio option. Now, my actual job is audio engineer. I do audio engineering and IT for a company, and I always have to have the best sounding system in any car I drive. My 2019 Model 3 that is barely hanging on because of Tesla build quality, that's another story, but the quality in that car is fantastic. The quality in this car, however, with the Rivian premium audio upgrade, unfortunately, is very bad. It needs a lot of work. They have improved it via software updates a few times, thankfully. I'm hoping that they continue improving because it still needs a lot of work. The bass, for example, bass response isn't that good. Clarity, never that good, but it's gotten better. Starting his bike over there. So it needs a lot of work. It sounds good if you're just a regular listener, but if you have any type of critical listening ear, you'll notice there are some problems. It'll sound muffled, the bass won't really come out. But the good thing is the hardware is good. They just need to fix the software that tunes it. And I think after they do that, they balance the audio more, improve the sound stage, get the subwoofer actually woofing back there. I think it'll be a pretty solid system. Besides that, everything is pretty similar to Gen 1. The beautiful part is, if you're looking at getting a Rivian, maybe you want to get a used one first, or maybe you want to save some money. You definitely don't have to get a Gen 2 if you don't want to, or if you want to save some money elsewhere. Gen 1 versus Gen 2, while there are some features and improvements and things that you won't see in the other ones, they're definitely not deal-breaking unless there's something specifically you want. In my case, these bad boys, I really wanted those wheels, so I got the Gen 2. I could have swapped them on to a Gen 1, but they still don't sell them on the shop, so you gotta do what you gotta do. You need the wheels. They look great. I could talk about these wheels for hours, but I won't because I don't want to bore you. But yeah, so that's basically the interior. I'll do more in-depth videos on each aspect of this as time goes along. This is really just an overview of what I think so far. I've had it since September 2024, and it's been great. A few issues here and there, but their software team is pretty fast on coming out with updates to fix stuff, so props to them. But yeah, really solid vehicle. Looking forward to seeing how it improves over time. In addition to the vehicle itself, one of my other favorite things actually isn't really the vehicle, it's the community. The Rivian community is insane, in a good way. The Tesla community was great for a while. Then, unfortunately, it's changed to more of a stock-driven group, if you will, which has removed kind of the authenticity of, do I like this car and recommend it, or do I want to get more people to buy it so my stock goes higher? And so I was getting tired of that, which is why I looked at something other than Tesla. I love my old Model 3. I still have it, but the community just I didn't really support that. So while I love the car and love the owners who also love their cars because they're regular guys, regular people, those people are great. And the beautiful part about the Rivian community is basically really everybody is like that. Even before I got my R1S, people from the Florida Rivian Club were inviting me to hang out with them And honestly, that was, part of my decision making. Rivian owners are some of the coolest people I've met in the car space. I plan to do some videos next time I hang out with the Rivian Club here in Florida. But yeah, community is fantastic. Pretty much everyone around the company is fantastic. All employees I've met at the Orlando Service Center are fantastic. Before I got this, I've done maybe a dozen demo drives because I really want to know a car before I get it. So I pretty much know all of them by name. But they're all great people, and they sell a great product. So that's I guess that's my overview of the car. This is my first video, so I am no ways an expert. Let me know what you guys think on the vehicle itself. Let me know what you think on the video itself so I can improve. I'm sure there's a lot of room for improvement. I'm probably talking too much. But yeah, I love this car. And fun fact, one of the reasons I got this is because there's not an electric Chevy Suburban yet. If you know me, you know I'm a huge Suburban fan. So I'm using this basically in the interim until there's an actual Chevy Suburban electric. Wait a second. Speaking of the Chevy Suburban, I see a 2018 Suburban right there. I'll have one day. Love those cars. I think it's a Z71. Looks good. But yeah, so this is in the Rivian app, it's nicknamed R1 Suburban. So this R1S, I actually have an idea where I take the rear emblems. It says R1S because that's what it is. Rivian R1S. I have my check mark here. I put on all my cars because it's funny. If I get the emblems for a Suburban, right? All the letters. I move this, and so it'll be R1S. The S actually spells out Suburban like this. I've been thinking of doing that, so that might happen in the future. But yeah, so yeah, really love the car. I'll be doing some more videos on this over time. This is just a general overview of it, and a video of me rambling for 22 minutes currently. So let me know what you think and what else you want to know about the car. What are things you want me to talk about or film about? But yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video I make, whatever that is.